you can write, I think, I can't remember the number of characters, but it is quite lengthy. So it is not like you are allowed to write just one thing. So you can say, what do you call them? UI UX designer. Then you put a dash or a line. Then you say Figma expert, Webflow professional, or even Webflow expert as well. So that when someone searches for Webflow UI UX designer, your profile will come up because you have Webflow there. When someone searches for a Power BI expert instead of data analyst, your profile will still come up because you have that tool in your title. I don't know if there is anyone who does social media marketing, not social media marketing, email marketing here. In email marketing today, one of the most popular tools for email marketing today is Klaviyo. And from my experience, when I look for jobs in those areas, maybe I'm preparing for a class like this and I want to train email marketers and the likes. So when I go through the the catalog of jobs, what I discover is that less than 20% of employers use that keyword, email marketer. What do they use? Klaviyo marketer. Because what they need is someone who can use Klaviyo, not just a generic email marketer. So if everything you are saying in your profile is I'm an email marketer, blah, blah, without mentioning that you use Klaviyo, you might not be positioning yourself well. If you understand, please contextualize that to your industry and ensure that the tools that your employers might be looking for in a client, in a freelancer, you have them in your profile. For instance, I know that people who are into architectural design and architectural drawing and the likes, AutoCAD is what is raining. So if what you are calling yourself is just professional architect, without saying you are an AutoCAD expert, you might be losing jobs. People might be looking for your service, not knowing that you exist. I'm sure you understand what I mean. So instead of just saying professional architect, after saying professional architect, now mention that AutoCAD experts or AutoCAD professional. Say something about AutoCAD in your title. Then work experience. To position yourself, remember I mentioned earlier that Upwork is like a real life marketplace or a real life labor market. You are going there with no experience. So when you open a new Upwork account, everything about your Upwork is blank under work experience. You have not done any job on the platform, which makes it tough and almost impossible. I didn't say impossible, almost impossible or difficult for employers to trust you. So what do? There is a section called work experience. That is work you have done outside of Upwork. Make sure you list them. There is another one called testimonial. Testimonials on Upwork they mean reviews from employers outside of Upwork. Let's assume that someone has hired you on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. There is a way you can request from that person to send you a review about your service. When you click on testimonial, just follow the prompts. If it is on LinkedIn, Upwork will just ask you to put the, I think, profile link of that person, and Upwork will contact them. So the person will write a review for you, and it will appear on your profile that, oh, I hired Mr. Musa for so or Mrs. Musa for so blah blah blah, and she delivered well, blah blah blah. I recommend her. So it increases your chance of getting hired. So the last one is portfolio. I believe everyone here knows portfolio. You are techies. So only writers always tell me they don't know what a portfolio is. It means samples of your work. And I'm not saying samples of your work that are scattered all around. Maybe you are using Behance, for instance. You have to organize it, tell us about the sample, give us a brief description about the service and things like that, and put the link the link in your portfolio. You will see a portfolio section in your Upwork account. So put the link such that people can click the link and go and review your past works, which gives them more trust in what you can do. So I'll be moving faster now. We have spent an hour already. So now getting jobs. How do you get jobs? After all this cho, after all this where I've been doing since morning, the main thing now is you want to get jobs. On Upwork, there are three ways to get jobs. The first way is the most dominant way to submit proposals. The second way is to receive invitations. The last way is to get direct messages. Sorry, I missed one. Project catalog, which is like Fiverr gig. I think the reason I missed it is because it is not very popular on Upwork. So, you know, all these platforms, they are competing. There was a time that there was nothing like project catalog on Upwork. But because some of their clients were complaining that some of freelancers were complaining that oh, on Fiverr, you just set up your gig and you can go to bed and someone could have bought it before you wake up. Upwork also introduced project catalog, which is the same thing as Fiverr gigs, which means you can package the service. I will help you design your website for $500, blah blah blah. It will take these days, and you upload it, and someone might purchase it. But I'm not interested in that because it is not that dominant on Upwork. Now, to submit proposals, it means you have set up your account, you have done everything, then you go to find work in your profile. When you go to find work, you will see the list of available jobs. You click on the ones you are interested in, you submit a proposal, you will see the job, then you apply to it. You tell them why you should be chosen, how you can do the job, then you submit your proposal. And a lot of people will also submit a proposal, definitely. And if the employer is interested in your application, they will send you a message and you can get the job. Second one is invitation. So have explained that earlier. If a prospective employer searches for a keyword in your industry and your profile pops up, you might get an invitation to submit a proposal. And the last one is direct message. Someone might just send you a message directly after reviewing your profile and is convinced that you might be a great fit, sends you a message, asks you to help with a particular project, and you just get the job that way. Oh, sorry. Now, to submit proposals, how do you submit winning proposals? First of all, the first step is to identify the best gigs. Don't just submit proposal to any available job. Ask yourself, am I a good fit for this job? By being a good fit, it means have you done similar jobs before? Do you understand the job post and can you solve the problem described in that job post? Because those are the things we mentioned in your application. So after when you consider all of that and you think, okay, this is a good gig for me, then you click on it, you apply, you attach your sample works, which is probably past projects that are similar to that project, to prove that you can actually do it. Then you submit your proposal. Then I mentioned techniques of crafting winning cover letters. Also the same thing as proposals on Upwork. It is the same technique for writing your profile summary. In your cover letter, focus on the particular project that the person posted. I need someone to help me do this, do that, do that, do that, do that. Don't submit a generic or an AI generated cover letter. I am this, I have a strong background in tech. That is, you're not getting any job. Focus on that particular job post. What is the pain point in this job post and how can I address it? That is a good proposal. That is a winning proposal. There is no template anywhere. And if you see all of those things they call winning templates, analyze them. This is what you will come across in them. They address the pain point of the prospective employer. So maybe I have a website and I make a post that my website pages are not loading fast. They are slow. And you are telling me with my strong background in tech, with my Kineka, another person is telling me, oh, this might be caused by Kineka HTML. I will solve it by doing this, doing that. Who do you hire? The person that addresses your problem. So it's not about big English or very good English. No one cares about all of that. Address your client pain points. Tell them how you help them solve the problem. Describe, a job post is a problem. Someone is making a job post because they need a professional service. They are in a problem. They need someone to bail them out. So see a job post as a problem and provide a solution to it. That is it. So when to apply? The best time to apply on Upwork is the time zone of your employers. The large majority of employers on Upwork, they are in the United States, United Kingdom, Canada, Australia. So look at their time zone, and that is when you should apply. In most cases, a lot of these people are in the US. I've mentioned many countries, but out of them again, most of them are in the US. So time now is around maybe 5 a.m. So I tell people it's always good to apply around maybe 1 p.m., 2 p.m. when they are awake as well and they have started posting jobs. But there is no time that you cannot apply because some people have posted jobs yesterday and they have not hired for it. Some people have posted jobs 2 days ago. You can still go back to all these job posts and apply to them. So I'm going to skip others. Meeting deadlines, nothing serious. Getting paid, it is this. The reason I mentioned getting paid is that whenever I go to give a talk like this about freelancing, and I ask people any questions, when someone raises their hand, the question they want to ask is, how will my money get to me? And that is the simplest thing. We now have fintechs everywhere, gray, gig pay, everywhere. So that is not a problem. You add your bank detail, you make withdrawals to it, you withdraw to your Naira account. That's all. Invitations. How do you get invitations? I've explained by ranking your profile. You rank your profile by doing everything I've said earlier. Good title, good summary, work experience, testimonial, everything, everything. Using tool-based title, incorporating tools into your title and into your description as well and into your profile summary. Then, by doing that, you are positioning yourself to get invitations. So, when you get invitations, what do you do? Invitations are not job offers. It simply means the person is interested in you, but might be interested in three other people as well. So, you also want to convince them to hire you. So, when you get a job invitation, what do? You respond to it, you thank them for inviting you, then you address how you can help them with their project. When they send you an invitation, you will see view job posts, which will enable you to see what service the person needs. So describe how you can help them with the service, and from there, you are turning the invite to offer. They come back, you agree on the price, and they send you an offer. Now, the important thing I will mention there is sustaining momentum. Please listen to this very well. I'm telling you my mistake. I learned this from my mistake. When you start getting invitations on Upwork, it means at that time the algorithm is working in your favor. At that time, don't stop applying to jobs. There is a tendency that you are getting invitations. When you get invitations, you don't use Connect to apply to a job. Remember, I've explained that at the beginning. You remember that you buy Connect with your money to apply to jobs. But when you get invitations, you don't use Connect to apply to jobs, which means you might be tempted to stop applying to jobs when you start getting invitations. I'm getting the invitations free of charge. Why should I be spending Connect to apply to jobs? Don't make that mistake. When you make that mistake, the algorithm will believe that the invitations you are getting, the job you are getting from them, they are more than enough for you. And for now, you are not seeking job, and it will relegate your account. It will take your profile to maybe seventh page, 10th page, 15th page, so as to give another person a chance. So at that time, when you start getting invitations, ensure that you are submitting at least 1 to 2 proposals every day, even if you are overwhelmed, even if you don't need another job that time. You might outsource them. Be submitting proposals at that period. That is the way to sustain your momentum. Otherwise, everything will just stop at a point. You will not be getting invitations again, nothing will come again, and it becomes difficult to get jobs again. I hope you understand. So, direct messages. If you have done everything I've explained earlier about your profile and you have a good work history already, someone might search for someone in your might search for a professional in your industry, and they come across your profile. And after reviewing your profile, they are already convinced that you are the best fit for their job. So instead of even inviting you, they will just send you a message directly. Hi Saeed, I can see that you can help me with this, and that. How much will you charge for it? And you get the job. But that is something that comes after some months. You don't usually get it when you just start submitting proposals. But when you have done some work, you have gathered some 5-star reviews, some positive comments, and the likes, then you can get um, direct messages. So the same thing, when you get them, it is your job to turn their inquiries to offer. They have said what they want. You respond, you tell them how you can solve their problem, you tell them the price, you agree on the price, they send an offer to you. The same thing, sustaining momentum. When you are getting that, don't forget to apply to jobs so that everything will not stop at once. So the last slide, general tips, ensure you meet deadlines. On Upwork, unlike Fiverr, deadlines is strictly between you and your employer. On Fiverr, I think there is a countdown. If you agree on 7 days, after 7 days, maybe except the person gives you an extension or something, something might happen to your account for not meeting the deadline. Maybe your ranking will reduce or something, something, something. On Upwork, there is nothing like that. Deadline is strictly between you and your employer. The person might give you 3 days on Upwork, like in the system, allocate 3 days to you. If both of you agree that you will deliver the project in 1 week, you are fine. Just that you meet the deadline for your integrity. Communicate effectively. It matters for freelancers. If you don't understand the job requirement, ask questions. If you need to clarify anything, speak. Whatever you need to do, make sure that you are an effective communicator. Talk to them like a professional that you are. Thirdly, upsell. Someone comes to you to do social media flyers, and after doing it, you just let the person go that way. No, you are wrong. You are supposed to tell them you can also design their LinkedIn banner, you can also design their kenekon, you can do their brand identity, you can design their logo. You upsell. When is the best time to upsell? The space between when you are hired for a particular job and when you deliver it. You have been hired to do social media flyers. As you are working on that social media flyers, just reach out to the person one day and say, oh, how are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. I've made this progress on this project. If you want to take a look, I can send it to you to take a look, but I'm not done with it. But I just want to let you know that I also do this, that, and that. You don't know, maybe they are looking for someone to offer that service. If you upsell, if you tell them what else you do, you might get an additional gig. Now, the most important, follow trends and facts, not your passion. I know people who are suffering on Upwork because of their passion. I have a passion for poetry. Who hires people for poetry? Nobody. I have a passion for Kenekan. If what you have passion for is not what people are hiring for on Upwork, don't waste your time. Switch to what employers are demanding. Don't say my passion is in Kenekan. There is no passion, and no amount of passion can buy a bag of rice. So you don't put your passion beside. Make money to fuel that passion. So follow what is reigning. There was a time when I started article writing. I love writing about business, about entrepreneurship. But when crypto came during the bull run, I left it and went to crypto writing to make money. I'm not a fan of crypto. I don't know anything about crypto, like anything about crypto. In fact, that time when my clients insist that they would pay me with cryptocurrency, with Bitcoin or anything, or any other kind of coin, I will have to call one of my friends to help me to teach me how to copy my balance, my wallet link, my wallet address, maybe BEP20 or something. And when you teach me this week, and I want to get another payment next week or next month, I will have forgotten. You will teach me again how to copy it because I don't care about cryptocurrency at all. I'm not into it. I don't know it. But when crypto was booming and founders were looking for people to write for them, I switched to crypto writing because I knew I could write on anything. Just give me the time to do my research. 2, 3 days, I will come up with something that is fantastic. So I left my passion of writing for education, for entrepreneurship, for youth empowerment to where I would make money. So that is what you should do. Look at the statistics, who are getting hired, and join them to get hired. Lastly, don't give up. I'm not a coach that will sugarcoat everything, that will tell you, I have a student that made $1,000 in their first month. It is possible. And it is a simple rule of probability. If I am a coach and I have 300 people in my WhatsApp group or Telegram group, it is normal that I will get somebody that will get a job in their first week. It doesn't make me a good coach. It is just probability. If I am a good coach, I should be able to help all of you get a job in your first week. So it's not going to come easy, especially on Upwork. There will be challenges. You will think of giving up, but don't give up. You will submit 10, 15 proposals. You will not get any response. Even me, a top-rated seller on Upwork, it happens to me. Let alone you, a beginner, it will happen. So no matter what the challenge is, keep going. What I can tell you is that Upwork is rewarding. For the past 5 years, I have not done any other thing with my life apart from freelancing and majorly on Upwork. I started doing my national youth service when I was serving in Kano State. That was when I started freelancing. And I found it so rewarding that I have not done any other thing since 2020 till we are speaking apart from freelancing. And I have a family. I'm married with a kid. So I can tell you for certain that freelancing is rewarding, but it is challenging. So if you don't give up, if you make that breakthrough, then that's it. But to make the breakthrough, that is why I told you in the beginning that it is like a normal labor market. As a fresh graduate, you might struggle to get your first job. So you might struggle to get the first job on Upwork because you are competing with people that have 15 five-star reviews. But one day, when you follow all these things that I have said, you will get your first job. So thank you. I will now stop now to welcome questions. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Saheed, for that wonderful session. Um, yeah, I know you said it's not possible for us to cover everything in 1 hour, but again, that was a lot. That was so much information packed within the past 1 hour, and thank you so much for that. Does anyone in the audience have questions to ask? You can raise your hand while you do that. But before I get you to ask your questions, I think I'll just ask a question that probably might be on everyone's mind, which would be, I know that this session was particularly about Upwork, but if you don't mind, could you just take a few moments to sort of like maybe give us, possible differences between other, freelancing platforms and Upwork, like Fiverr, like Contra, and what are probably the advantages or disadvantages of some of them, or as against Upwork and the likes, if you don't mind.
Okay, thank you. So basically, remember when you sent me an email, I told you that I majored in Upwork. I was on Fiverr for 1 year before I left. So maybe the lesson some of our audience could learn from this is to go where their skills can help them. When I was on Fiverr, I mentioned the major difference earlier. I said on Fiverr, the major way to get hired is to write your gigs. And when you write your gigs, you publish the gig and you start working towards ranking your gig to maybe the front page, second page, third page. So, employers go there, they explore the gigs and they buy the gigs. That is the major way to hire on Fiverr. However, on Upwork, employers will be the one to make a post. The same way you see your friends post on Facebook. So you will come across job posts that will say, "Hi, I'm the founder of so 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 so. I need a graphic designer, or I need a product designer, or I need a product manager, or I need a web developer to do this and that for me." They will be the one to post. Then you respond to their post. You are by applying. Now, I didn't make a dime like this on Fiverr. Although the reason is obvious, I didn't know anything about it. I didn't have anyone to teach me. I was just doing it blindly, hoping that I could just do it and make money. So if I should go back to Fiverr now that I have a lot of people who are making money from it around me, maybe I could make money from it, but I prefer to channel my energy into something else. I'm trying to break free from freelancing platforms, even though I'm still interested in them. I'm trying to build my own brand, create a website for my own service, so that if anything happens to Upwork tomorrow or Fiverr tomorrow, I will not stop earning. But majorly, Fiverr is about you displaying your services on a shelf. And employers will come there, they will check, when you go to the shop in ShopRite, you check Milo, you check Bonvita, then you choose one. That is Fiverr. Upwork is employers will tell you what they want, then you apply. So the reason I love Upwork, when you ask people, they will tell you Upwork is more difficult than Fiverr. I was told the same thing, and it is true. But my skill sets align with Upwork demand. What are my skill sets? I know how to speak. On Upwork, a lot of employers love to interview. So when you apply after writing a proposal, a cover letter or proposal, it's the same thing. To say, okay, I can help you with this job and blah, blah, blah. You tell them why, you tell them how you can help them solve their problem. You attach sample of your work, and they are interested in considering you. They will reach out to you. And what I do when they reach out to me, or even from my proposal, is that I try to set up a video interview with them, because that is my strength. I believe when we have a video interview, I talk to you, I share my screen, I show you something, you will hire me. So I believe Upwork aligns more with my skill sets. Upwork is about your ability to persuade people. Because people will tell you, this is what I need. You now tell them why you should be the one to be hired for that. Do you understand? It is not like you packaging your service and they are choosing. No, they are telling the entire freelancers on Upwork, I need this help. You examine their help and you propose a solution to it. And I think I know how to do that. So that is why I stick to Upwork. So I don't use Fiverr. So I'm not in position to tell you anything about Fiverr other than what I've said. So another platform you want to explore as tech is Contra. And I have not started using Contra as well. But I know that it also works quite similar to Upwork. But according to one of their top earners who has made about 50,000 USD on the platform, my brother Blakim, a brother and friend, so he told me that to join Contra, you need to subscribe to their premium plan. So they have a free plan where you can just set up your profile like Upwork and people will reach out to you. Or you also go to job search, you look for jobs that have been posted and you apply. But to now increase your chances, you can now subscribe to their premium plan, which is, I can't remember the amount, something dollars per month, maybe $14 per month or $28. You mentioned the figure, but I've not created my account yet. So I am waiting till the end of the year. I have quite a lot on my hand now. I'm doing a lot of things personally beyond freelancing that is taking my time. I remember mentioning earlier that I've not been very active, even on Upwork this year. I can't even remember submitting up to 20 proposals since the beginning of the year till today. So I've been quite busy. So if not for that, in my plan when the year started, I should have been on Contra now to explore the platform and see maybe I want to focus on it in addition to Upwork, but I've not joined. But that is how it works, quite similar to Upwork. So that's how it works. But I'm not there yet. And it is the main difference is that while Upwork is for all freelance skills, I think Contra is more for tech skills. UI UX design, product designer, product manager, social media marketing. Writers don't really have a place there.
All right, thank you so much for that profound response. I believe everyone found it very useful. But only you had your hand raised up for it. Do you mind speaking now?
Good morning, sir. Thank you for that session. Sorry. I want to ask a question because you made mention of something. You said why applying for jobs you should follow trend and not passion. So for someone that has passion for teaching, okay, let me say, for instance, the person studied biology education and he loves teaching very well. However, along the way, he learned data analysis. So, is it advisable for the person to launch into teaching on Upwork or data analysis? That's my question, sir.
Yeah, thank you. First of all, I don't know maybe you have not joined when I mentioned that on Upwork, no one cares about what you studied, except in real situations. Maybe for instance, I gave the example of if we are offering file tax filing as a service. Maybe people want to assume that you should have maybe an MBA, maybe a degree in accounting, in economics, and related fields. Apart from in those instances, no one cares about whatever you studied. Everyone cares about your skill, your ability to deliver, your ability to help them solve their problem. Now, to now answer your question, you studied biology education and you want to explore teaching and something. Remember, the kind of teaching you can do on Upwork. I think that there are teachers on Upwork. What kind of teaching can you do? In most cases, maybe teaching a particular language to people who want to take a professional examination. Maybe some people want to do SAT, want to do GMAT and all of those things. They might come to Upwork to hire a professional teacher. But if I were you, I still won't choose blindly. What will I do? I will go to my Upwork account. I will search for maybe biology teacher or SAT biology teacher or whatever the keyword may be. Then I will see the number of jobs that are available. Then I will go and check for the second one, data analyst. I will search. I will see the number of jobs that are available. If you search for maybe teaching, for instance, and you see that the entire jobs available on Upwork is 70, that is not a good field for you to explore. You cannot be bigger. You cannot be bigger than your industry. If all the jobs posted on that particular subject is 70, you should not focus on it. But if there is demand for the teaching services and there is demand for data analysis, then you choose whichever one you want. At that point now, passion and trend, they have become one. So what you are passionate about is trending, then you can go for it.
All right, thank you, sir.
All right. So, does anyone else have any questions to ask? Okay. So I guess that will be the end of the Q&A session then. Thank you so much, Mr. Saeed, for all of the wonderful talk you have given so far for the past 1.5 hours.
So, sorry to interject. I will
Okay.
appreciate if, I guess you have our email or our WhatsApp group. If you can kindly share the presentation slides, template or other information with us, and the video recording. Okay,
All
and the
right.
video recording of this webinar. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah. Um, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for showing up. Really appreciate it. It's a huge pleasure having you. Come share from your wealth of knowledge with us. Really, 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 really appreciate it. And yeah, for the rest of you, I hope this has been an impactful session for you as well. I hope you've learned a thing or two, and I hope that this spurs you on to begin your own freelancing journey if that's something you're interested in. I would urge you all to also try your best to practicalize all that you have learned here today. If you did not have an Upwork account before now, you could try to create one and try to also experiment with some of the things that Mr. Saheed has mentioned to us today. And yeah, so knowledge without practicing is just knowledge based, right? So let's try our best to also practicalize what we have learned. And also please remember that submissions for your assessment closes tonight for week 5. And let's try our best to keep going. We've got a few more weeks left. And yeah, that'll be see you next week for next weekend for another workshop session. And thank you once again, Mr. Said. I will be in your DMs and we'll continue our conversation from there.
Yeah, thanks you.
All right. Bye bye, everyone, and have a good weekend.